Deaton with a couple of hammer shots, and finally Samford gets the point. Boy, Deaton had about 3 or 4 chances to kill. Wofford did a nice job defending, and then Samford finally winds up with the point.
Yes, hiring, and it's a very big momentum shift. So that was good on Samford, staying disciplined, staying dialed in, and getting that first point of the match.
Yeah, I was going to say again, when you have a long point like that, the conditioning is really that comes into play. All that. And Hobbs able to get the points off of the deflection. Senior Kelsey Hobbs shortly. And you want to stay as far away, good kill by Hobbs. You want to stay as far away from the 1 and 2 seeds as you possibly can.
Anyone's game, especially having seen each other throughout the season. If you know who you're up against, you can better prepare.
Samford pulls in front by 2. Here comes a kill attempt. Nice save by Wofford, but it's going to go far. Going to go out wide. They're either going to finish in first or second place this year. Point for Samford. Tysman finishing up. She's a senior. That's Deaton with the point for Samford.
Shot wide open. So that's a great job on Wofford for really establishing this spread offense.
Beautiful block. Brianna Holmes uses that 6'1", lanky front. Another point for Samford. And Holmes again involved. See if they go to Holmes again. No. Hobbs. And Hobbs will get the point for Samford.
And this is about the time Samford really needs to start pulling away if they want to take this set.
The way that Wofford has stayed in this first match.
But I will say it's due to playing the #1 team in the conference.
Was Tysman credited with the kill? There's one of those exciting plays for Samford. Sierra Razor. Zeman gets off the serve. There's Samford and Deaton. Leads the SoCon in assists. Third straight point. It was 20-20. And a timeout, and now the Bulldogs have scored 3 times. And with
establishing the momentum going into the second set and the pace of the game.
And we talk about emotion. And Wofford knows that for most of this first set, they played extremely well. They played extremely within 1 point of closing it out. Wofford has to score, and that'll be it for Samford. They will take the first set 25-20. So from the Hannah Center in Homewood, Alabama. If you're wondering at home, you saw that serve by a girl wearing a white shirt. It's our job to teach. And that person's position.
They run the backcourt. Anything behind the 10-foot line, that is libero's territory. Like anything in the front row is the setter's opportunity. You know, that's the opportunity to lead. And liberos do a great.
Deaton. That was in. So the sophomore from Memphis, Lauren Deaton. Oh, nice finish. It doesn't always have to be the Wofford Terriers. And that is a point for Samford. But at the very least, Lindsay Roos has done a nice job
on defense.
Far side, Deaton. When Deaton has done it.
overpasses on defense. That was a smartly placed attack, but normally they're hitting right to the defense, not finding holes and taking big swings.
Yep, that was almost like the same point Wofford scored on, just a lazy floating ball that said hit me in Samford. And I totally agree. You play up and you do play down, as Samford will get the points for the tie. There's no doubt about it. Again, we talk about that word emotion. Samford steals a point there. Wofford a little late on the defense. That's it. Coming across the court to get that point. Hobbs got a piece of it, kept it alive. And now Hobbs finishes it off. Nice series for Kelsey Hobbs. First keeps it alive on the makes it a 1 point Wofford lead. Push-ups after the Samford point. Okay. And our unofficial floor cleaner get thrown in there as well. Now that'll keep this match alive. '23. We affectionately can call her a cheesehead from Green Bay. Make it 2-0 Samford. Mixed it up instead of the kill, and Samford will take a 3-0 lead. So you were saying, Zaria, that there's Samford's been a little heavy on the load for. They go back to Hobbs, and Hobbs able to hammer it home. And now it's 4-0. This is one of those runs Samford is very capable of. Double block that time for the Bulldogs, giving them the point. See Holmes get involved. Sneaker laces. Samford on the point. It's Tysman.
Where to go, especially on serve receive. That's the only time you really have the opportunity to discuss what's happening on offense, and to see the blockers on the other side and to know what would put your hitters in the
energy and enthusiasm. They're like in a sense, a very powerful locomotive as they continue to get on this roll. It's a big steam engine, but it takes a little momentum to get there. A couple of points.
If you're holding up, you're seeing how many hitters you have. So that's you setting up your defense when you're serving. And receive, you're focused on your own offense. And so they're holding up a 2 behind their back.
Which means what?
Which means that there are 2 hitters in the front row and the setters in the front row.
All right, now let me hold on for a second now. Samford has opened up a commanding lead. When you say that,
the offense showing that the setter has the ability to score, that there are 2 hitters, and typically when there's 2 hitters in the front row, you have an outside and a middle. The middle goes behind the setter. So like how we saw Samford do a great.
That's a big point for Samford. A good kill on the far side. Grace Tysman says, don't forget about.
We're starting to gain a bit of momentum, having a couple good plays, and just a mid-serve like that really takes some steam off of that momentum.
Yeah, and again, you can't give the #1 team in the conference. See who gets the kill shot. Deaton got it. A sophomore from Memphis. And she'll saved by Hobbs. Deaton found space. Yep. Yeah, Deaton did a nice job there. You saw, from our viewpoint again, scoring points. And there's Holmes, just when you talk about Deaton And Hobbs, you got Holmes in there.
Be a little more active on offense. She's a defensive powerhouse, very big at the net, rarely lets anything cross without getting her hands on it. But in order to be a well-rounded middle, she does have to work herself.
I guess you take your towels with you and your water bottles.
Yeah, you pack up everything.
You pack up everything. I mean, you need an Uber driver to get over there.
Yeah, it's a real quick transition.
Samford opens up what they never played. I mean, those girls were dancing on the. Well, Wofford needs this to stay in the set, but Samford will jump out to a 3-0 lead. Blocks again. You mentioned Holmes. Like to see her step up offensively. She's already, in my opinion, an all-conference defender. And again, maybe, just maybe, unselfish. Deaton hammers it home. They all can't share the gym. That's not a problem for Wofford. Good volley, and Hobbs says enough. 2-point lead for Samford.
And we talked earlier about the long rallies and really have.
Hobbs, yes. Samford up by 2.
But I will say there's a lot of communication between players that isn't seen. Is a lot of communication between the setter.
Samford with the point. 3-point advantage for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more.
Tysman got the nice serve off. That's Samford's point again, so Samford up by 4. Well, that's a tough serve to return, isn't it?
Very. Serves like that, like a nice float serve, difficult, most difficult.
Another point for Samford. You'll watch your Lions tomorrow, by the way? Deaton, far side, got it. And Hobbs try to push it through, and she does. Dangerous situation for Wofford in terms of that Samford run. That if on your screen. Wofford with their 17th point. Now the Bulldogs by 5, and they see the end of the finish line. It's not they're not quite there yet, but progress. That was in, so Samford draws closer. They're within 4 points now.
Score some points.
Samford now within 1 point of closing out the night. Sam Pritchard, our court reporter. Deaton for the match. And that will do it for Samford as the sophomore Deaton finishes things off. And the final score